Hey everyone, hope you all are feeling good today. So listen to this, we've got to talk about Claressa Shields again because this whole situation with Remy Ma is starting to look deeper than we thought. We're back to unpack just how far this so-called obsession might really go. And girl, it's not just about fashion advice or styling tips like those DMs she allegedly sent asking for guidance. It's not only about wanting Papoose, who was standing right there with her at the press conference and playing his role. Nah, it's starting to feel like she wants to be Remy Ma. And in her mind, Papoose looks like the shortcut, the fast pass, the ticket to leveling up. She seems to think that mirroring everything Remy has done for the past 2 decades is somehow going to ease her right into that same lane. I didn't realize how intense this was getting. Hold up, because it's one thing to recreate a hairstyle here and there. It's one thing to rock similar outfits. It's even one thing to stack the same style of layered chains and necklaces because yes, that's been hip-hop culture forever. But then we're talking about the Van Cleef bracelets, the wrist stacks, the bust-down straight hair, the lace fronts, the signature braids that Remy specifically made her own over the years. Now we've got the fur coat moment, and it's 60 degrees outside. That alone raised eyebrows. But this wasn't just about throwing on a pink mink. This was more than just wearing fur in weather that clearly didn't call for it. We've got to break down the full outfit, because the whole vibe was giving flashbacks to Remy around Christmas time when she popped out at Daniel's Leather talking about face tape, body tee, everything tee. And yes, Papoose was right there. The tank top, the jeans, the boots, it's the formula. The only difference, Remy's boots coordinated perfectly with her mink, while this version tried to tie the person boots together in red, with the coat mixing pink and hints of red throughout. That's not a coincidence, that's calculated. You're going full throttle now. Remy rocked a pink mink before, and suddenly there's another pink mink with a splash of red. It's a study session. It's giving burner account research. It's giving stylist, pull this up and recreate the blueprint. And here's the real question. Is Papoose aware of all this? Is he playing along to get under Remy's skin? Or is he completely clueless while Claressa is out here mirroring his wife's entire aesthetic? Or, and this is where it gets messy, does he low-key want that obsession there, hoping somehow it circles back and pulls Remy in emotionally? Because right now, none of this adds up. Let's be clear right now, Remy Ma never had to attach herself to a married man or play messy games to build success. She had bars, she had a presence, she could actually rap, period. She didn't need theatrics or relationship drama to stay relevant. Remy has never been defined by who she's dating or married to. That was never her brand. Her foundation has always been lyricism first. She came up with Terror Squad alongside Fat Joe, who's like family to her. When you see Fat Joe courtside at games or popping out at major events, don't be surprised if Remy is right there. That's legacy energy.
Now, if some of y'all only care about her personal life, that's a different lane. We can talk about it. But ever since this situation with Papoose went public, Claressa Shields has seemed to turn it into a mission. It feels intentional. It feels strategic. It feels like she's trying to make this storyline her entire identity. And even though she didn't say Papoose's name at that press conference, he was sitting right next to her like a co-star in the rollout. That visual alone spoke volumes. We keep circling back to these husbands, these side situations, these entanglements that try to latch on to rising momentum and fresh attention. And somehow it's being framed like standing next to Papoose is a flex. Hold up, last time I checked, his name wasn't Morris Chestnut. Last I checked, it wasn't Shamar Moore. It wasn't Idris Elba. It wasn't Boris Kojo. It wasn't Damson Idris. It wasn't Rome Flynn. I could keep going all day before we even circle back to his name. Yet, here they are, stepping out like a power couple in full-length mink coats in 60-degree weather, like this is a cinematic moment that required all that drama. Let's be honest, none of that was necessary. That felt deliberate. That felt like a personal shot. That felt like bait. I don't know if the goal is to provoke Remy into going live again or spark another headline, but it definitely doesn't feel random. Because at this point, it sounds like they haven't let Remy go. She feels like the benchmark, the blueprint, the vision board inspiration. Whatever Remy has done, Claressa seems ready to duplicate. If Remy steps into rap, suddenly rap is the goal. If Remy does reality TV, now reality TV is appealing too. And let's not ignore the fact that the upcoming fight is tied to Zeus Network, a platform Claressa has openly shown interest in because she likes confrontation-driven content. So when you zoom out, you start to see a pattern. This entanglement with a married man didn't need to be a public spectacle. Yet, here we are with fur coats, press conferences, and reality TV energy wrapped around it. And the real question is, who is this performance actually for? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks less like love and more like replication.
But again, let me say this louder for the people in the back. At that press conference, he's up there praising you, talking about little girls who see Claressa Shields as a role model, as a hero. Meanwhile, you're seated next to Papoose, a married man whose wife is Remy Ma, and it's being presented like he orchestrated your entire success story. It almost sounds like without him, that reported $8 million deal wouldn't have happened, like your own talent wasn't enough to secure it. There's even chatter that he's benefiting financially from it, celebrating ticket sales publicly while still calling out critics to show up. And I have to ask, why invite haters at all if everything is supposedly solid? That energy feels off. Instead of the focus staying on the fight, somehow with the opponent, Franchon Cruz Dezern, has practically vanished from the promotion. She's barely mentioned, barely highlighted. It's like the matchup itself has been sidelined. So now it feels less like a competitive bout and more like a solo performance. Rather than breaking down strategy, training, or legacy in boxing, we're stuck addressing the elephant in the room, the Remy fixation. From the outfits to the phrasing, from the style choices to aligning publicly with her husband, the pattern is hard to ignore. It doesn't read as a coincidence anymore. It reads as obsessive. At this point, you start wondering whether legal boundaries need to be considered. Cease and desists, formal warnings, something to create space. Because when behavior starts crossing into what looks like harassment territory, it stops being entertainment and starts feeling uncomfortable. After the fight, what's next? More appearances in the same cities? More side-by-side visuals? These are real concerns people are raising. Wherever Remy resides, security might need to be tightened because the repetition is becoming unsettling. This is no longer subtle. Every detail feels intentional. The makeup, the hair, the jewelry stacks, the fur coats, even the tone and delivery, it mirrors too closely. And when replication becomes this consistent, people are going to talk. So I want to hear from you. Is this a strategy, a coincidence, or something deeper? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.